Hokage, the civilian Genjutsu master who can read minds. Like, share and subscribe. Episode 71, Family Secrets, Training Ground number 98. On the wall of Toliu City, 3 little ones were lying on the ground, sticking their heads out and looking down. Hey, it's Uchiha Itachi. Fumajikuin looked at that figure and said to Inuzuka Hana. Inuzuka Hana, it's really Itachi. It seems like the bandage man beat him. Inuzuka Flower, because Feiju Dragonfly had a bandage on his face, the 3 of them gave him a nickname. As punishment for punishing them. Izuno Kaikai, why do I feel cold in my heart, as if he is looking at us? No, he doesn't show his eyes. He must be a sentient ninja. We must have been discovered. Hurry up and practice, otherwise we will be in trouble. Inuzuka Hana yelled that it was not good and continued practicing with her 2 younger brothers. Itachi, do you really not want to compete with me? Let your brother see your strength. Flying Bamboo Dragonfly put Sasuke down and said to Itachi. Itachi is growing very fast, and after a while, chakra has increased a lot. It seems that the experience during this period is not small. It can be felt that Itachi's mental energy is accumulating very quickly, which means that his young body limits him. Otherwise it will be stronger. He is worthy of being the chosen son of the ninja world, a man who can form a religion in the 2nd dimension. No, let's go first. Itachi looked at the 3 retracted heads above, Kaido. After thanking him, he took little Sasuke and slipped away. He didn't want to fight at all. Sasuke held several small weasel figures and waved at the flying bamboo dragonfly. Obviously, he is a polite child. You can also tell that he is very happy. Flying bamboo dragonfly looked at the 2 people leaving. When Itachi makes a decision in the future, will he come to me for advice? Probably not, my performance is just that of a more powerful jonin. He was thinking whether Itachi would ask him to help him deal with the masked man if he found Obito in the future. Then I shook my head, my talent was too high, my progress was too fast, I felt a little bloated. This kind of thing should be left to the Son of Destiny. He just needs to do the job he should do. Then I focused my perception on the 3 little ones above, and found that they had not yet achieved the balance to climb the tree. In other words, except for Inuzuka Hana, the other 2 are too bad. To be honest, at this level, even Naruto's early talent couldn't compare. It can even be said to be far worse. Sunset. The afterglow shines. In the Inuzuka family, Inuzuka Kiba and Akamaru are playing the game of holding high. Hey, Akamaru, tell me why my sister hasn't come back so late today? Did you say you went on a date? Inuzuka Kiba looked at the outside gradually descending, but his sister had not come back yet, so he smiled and showed his little tiger teeth. Woof woof, Akamaru couldn't agree more with him. Boom. Hearing the knock on the door, Kiba took Akamaru to the gate of opening quickly. Click. When the door opened, there was Hana Inuzuka with a tired look on her face, and Haimaru who was panting with his tongue hanging out on her shoulder. Brother, get me a glass of water quickly. I'm exhausted. Inuzuka Kiba didn't know why, but he still poured a glass of water for his sister. Sister, what's wrong with you? Ya asked. Inuzuka Hana, don't mention it, I met a perverted uncle and exhausted me. It's actually not a date. Inuzuka Kiba hugged Akamaru and asked curiously, did he bully you? When your parents come back, ask them to beat him up. Don't. Inuzuka Hana stopped his thoughts. Just now, she finally finished training with Flying Bamboo Dragonfly. It wasn't that she accomplished the task, but that it was getting late. I thought it would be fine once it was over, but I didn't expect that the other party was outrageous and asked the 3 of them to go to training every day after school. It would be better if I got beaten up, but when it came to training, her parents would definitely support her. She didn't dare to tell her parents that she beat up a jonin out of revenge. It's just that she feels that she has no love left in life. In the next period of time, they have to train with Flying Bamboo Dragonfly every day. Woof woof, Haimaru was also exhausted next to him. It seemed that Flying Bamboo Dragonfly noticed him and wanted to practice too. It's so exhausting. Izuno family. His parents were very excited when they heard that Jonin was going to train Izuno Kaikai. In their family, there are only a handful of times that Jonin has been able to lead and guide them over the years. Now Izuno Kaikai can get guidance from Jonin without graduating, which is really something to be happy about. Although Izuno Kaikai was very tired, seeing the expressions on his parents' faces, he knew that this was an opportunity not to be missed. Mom and Dad, that Uncle Dragonfly said, if possible, if you allow me, you can show him the secret technique. Help me chart my future course. Izuno Tsutsai's words made the 2 couples' mouth corners drop with joy. Look at each other. There was some hesitation. That is a secret skill, and even the teachers who lead the group rarely teach students the bottom-of-the-box stuff. If the other party's purpose is their family's secret technique, this needs to go through a family meeting. This kind of thing is not something that they can decide as a couple. There are dozens of people in the Izuno family, and such major matters must be discussed with the clan elders. The Wind Demon family. Like the Izuno family, they are also very excited about Fuma Shirkuin being trained by Jonin. In order to cheer up the Fuma family, they were much more decisive than the Izuno family. Fongamo Jikuin was allowed to consult Feiju Dragonfly with his secret skills. Just because their family is stronger than the Izuno family and their intelligence is much better, I have heard of this person. I know that he is the monitor of the analysis class. This is a position that the Fongamo clan has never been able to access. Of course they will not let go of such an opportunity. In order to inspire the Fongamo clan, they can make many decisions that go against their ancestors. The most genius of their clan, Fuma Erashur, was secretly sent to Orochimaru. Now that Fongamo Jikuin has received another Jonin's guidance, the family's excitement is just around the corner. 5 months passed. Flying Bamboo Dragonfly's daily itinerary is very fixed, and no accidents happen. The work of the analysis class, as well as the work of the barriers class, will be improved in the future. For the large barriers, development progress is progressing every day. It's almost complete. During this period, I met Irika and trained him. Because since the 3 little guys beat him up, several groups of little guys came over and wanted to beat him up. But he didn't continue to let them train together. It can only be said that there is no fate. I just taught them a lesson and let them know how powerful they are. These 3 guys are really not very talented. Flying Bamboo Dragonfly looked at the 3 little ones training hard. In the past few months, he has only been training the basics. He is too young and chakra is not enough to train powerful ninjutsu. Mainly focused on chakra control, as well as form change training. Or the 3-body technique, as well as customized training methods corresponding to their family's secret techniques. But except for Inuzuka Hana, the other 2 took a month to complete climbing trees and treading water, and then conducted other training. They were really far behind even Mibu Shinobu and Irika. The little family is so sad. However, the secret skills of the 2 small families are a bit interesting. The secret technique of the Fuma clan has been deeply researched on chakra, and it can actually transform chakra into wings, but it is a bit difficult to practice. Without Jonin's chakra control level, it is basically impossible to succeed in the practice. The secret technique of the Izuno family, the technique of possessing the cat god and summoning the cat demon, was nicknamed Niko Sanohu by the Flying Bamboo Dragonfly. This technique can summon the possession of the cat god, forming a giant lucky cat similar to Susanoo outside the body, to attack the enemy. There is also the ninja technique, cat quilt, which allows chakra to form cat claws, ears, and tail outside the body and acquire cat characteristics. Episode 72, Irika's Troubles, Ninja School. Irika looked at the students in the classroom with a little trouble on his face. I don't know why, but in recent months, the teacher seems to have been keeping an eye on him, and wants to ask him for a lesson from time to time. He was trained whenever he had free time, which made him confused for a time. It was a bright day. He was having dinner with his former teammate, Shinobu Mibu, looking back on the past. Until the teacher suddenly appeared. He was about to test him again. How was the progress of Genjutsu? Even Mibu Shinobu was dragged along and had an unforgettable training together. Originally having information about the Yoshiko Genjutsu, Irika studied hard and finally found a way to crack it, which was to create a ninjutsu that blocked his ears, allowing him to succeed. But he underestimated the strength of the teacher. It was only a glance that he was still hit by the move, which reminded him that this move was originally a visual genjutsu. And his teammate Mibu Shinobu, as a member of the intelligence department and torture department, has been able to endure this kind of torture after special training. But, adhering to the principle of never being uncomfortable if you can be comfortable, after knowing that it was Irika who was being targeted by the teacher, Shinobu Mibu only dared to ask Irika to dinner when the teacher was not free. I avoid him the rest of the time for fear of being implicated. Damn it, it turns out it was these little guys who betrayed me. Sensing that something was wrong, Irika used the intelligence gathering skills honed during the mission, and finally found the source of the pain, some little devil in front of him. If you want to beat up Flying Bamboo Dragonfly, why bother with him? He actually threw the pot to him. It caused him to suffer so much, thanks to him for putting in so much effort for students' learning and future development. Is this right? Although I am happy that students use espionage operations, it would be uncomfortable if it is used on myself. So today, he collected all the information thoroughly. Attention is on the students, as long as someone dares to be naughty or prickly in class, let you taste the pain again. Especially 2 of them, Fuma Shirkuin and Izuno Kaikai. I heard that they were the ones who started the trend and revealed the tactics of blaming him. There is also Inuzuka Hana, who is in 3rd grade and is about to enter 4th grade. In class. Feeling teacher Irika's gaze, Fuma Shirkuin and Izuno Kaikai looked at each other several times. Iruka-sensei, something's not right today. Yes, it seems to be paying attention to us. More like looking for trouble? Study hard. I don't want to eat Genjutsu at Dragonfly-senpai's place, and I don't want to eat Genjutsu at Iruka-sensei's place. Although the two of them have very poor talents in chakra ninjutsu at Flying Bamboo Dragonfly. But in terms of espionage, they are surprisingly good. After several months of tacit understanding, the two of them can tell each other's thoughts with just one look. So Iruka's gaze was instantly analyzed and discussed by the two people, and they made a judgment. Iruka was disappointed. After a few months, the naughty children stopped being naughty, and many of them still studied hard. He felt that the innocence of the students was gone. The whistle on my chest is itching. Beat Iruka-sensei. Just then, a child's voice sounded. Whoosh. Everyone looked in the direction of the sound with incredulous eyes. Hyuga Takuma. He was sleeping at this time, and he didn't know what he was dreaming about, muttering about wanting to beat Iruka. Iruka smiled. The corners of his mouth were curled up like never before. Other students were very impressed, including Uchiha Do. A few months later, in the entire ninja school, all students in the class taught by Iruka were frightened by the news. There are very few thorns anymore. Including the arrogant brat of the Uchiha family. Because of the lack of education in class, Uchiha himself is looked down upon and cannot be called a parent. So he admires Hyuga Takuma. I don't admire other members of the Hyuga family, but now I admire you, Takuma, and I recognize you. Uchiha thought to himself. Snap. Iruka's chalk hit Hyuga Takuma on the head. Hyuga Takuma woke up in a daze, saw teacher Iruka's strange eyes, and then saw the eyes of his classmates. Gudong. He has a bad heart. It was too late, Iruka waved and was taken out of the classroom. Everyone, continue studying. Let's go out and discuss sleeping in class and talking in sleep. As the two of them left, the classroom immediately became bustling. Takuma is so awesome. He's done, and he's going to feel uncomfortable all day again. I wonder what taste Iruka-sensei will let him taste today. Humph, the Hyuga family is nothing more than that. Normally, Takuma's grades are so good and he doesn't make a lot of noise. He has even eaten Iruka-sensei's Genjutsu a few times. It's great to finally be caught again this time. Yes, damn it, I've been arrested so many times, and this time I finally got to Takuma. I wish Uchiha Do had been caught too. I think the teacher will make him eat wasabi-flavored Genjutsu today. No, I think it's chili pepper. Takuma doesn't like chili pepper very much. The students in the classroom were gloating. Although it was uncomfortable to be caught myself, it was particularly pleasant to be caught by a classmate. They can already imagine that Hyuga Takuma, the top student, turned red or distorted in the end. It makes me excited just thinking about it. Uchiha Tong frowned, am I mediocre like you? After a while, Hyuga Takuma walked in behind Iruka with an ugly expression. Okay, dear students, I hope you will not violate classroom disciplines. Study hard. Only by studying hard can you avoid being killed by the enemy in future missions, understand? Iruka asked Takuma to return to his seat and said meaningfully. The corners of his mouth curled up to show his current mood. No wonder the teacher likes to educate him like this. It turns out that this kind of bad taste teaching can not only make students improve, but also make themselves happy. Then he lectured to the students for a while, told them not to be caught by him, and walked out of the classroom door. Roll your eyes, open. Hyuga Takuma opened his eyes and watched Mr. Iruka slowly walk away. His face changed instantly and returned to a calm look, with a proud look on his lips. Takuma, what kind of Genjutsu did you taste just now? His deskmate asked. But he felt that Takuma looked strange. Uchiha Tong pricked up his ears, and as the only person in his class who could rival him, he paid special attention. Others, too, were curious. I don't know. Hyuga Takuma said with a smile. Have no idea? No, have you encountered a flavor you like? Iruka only uses one flavor at a time, because it is just education, not punishment, so he only uses one flavor at a time. Humph, as a ninja, after going through such a long time, if you haven't found a solution yet, then you underestimate the blood of the Hyuga family. Hyuga Takuma snorted coldly, with a proud look on his face. Everything before was just acting to make Mr. Iruka proud. So he doesn't know what it tastes like. How did you do that? This is the voice of all the students, and all of them pricked up their ears. If it was called 8 trigrams just now, it is now related to their vital interests. Uchiha Do frowned. Hyuga Takuma actually cracked the teacher's Genjutsu? And he also deceived Mr. Iruka. This made him so uncomfortable that he didn't even crack the sensei's Genjutsu. Episode 73, Crack. I told you, don't tell Mr. Iruka, otherwise everyone will have a hard time. Hyuga Takuma said proudly. I have been working on cracking the teacher's Genjutsu for a long time, and I have been observing it for a long time, and now it is finally confirmed that it is completed. Say it. Other students couldn't wait. Izuno Kaikai and Fuma Shirkuan also pricked up their ears, and they can also play the role of flying bamboo dragonfly senpai when the time comes. This is a technique I developed, called throat protection technique. It can protect the main taste nerve and prevent it from being invaded by chakra. I have been observing it for a long time before finally developing it. If the teacher catches it, it will be in trouble. Hyuga Takuma was a little worried that his classmates might not be able to hold their tongues. But he couldn't hold it in anymore. He had achieved such an achievement, and it felt like it would stifle him if he didn't tell him. Possessing extremely pure Byakugan, Hyuga Takuma secretly opened his Byakugan to observe when Iruka used Genjutsu for the second time. The teacher's chakra activity route, as well as which part of the chakra affects oneself, and where it is mainly targeted, are all seen by him one by one. If the knowledge reserve was not enough, he would have cracked it long ago. It also took several months to collect information on Genjutsu and medical information on human taste before it was completed. We won't say it, and we will study our acting skills well and never let the teacher find out. The students all nodded unanimously. Uchihado clenched his fists and thought to himself, damn it, if Sharingan hadn't been awakened yet, I could have developed this ninjutsu. Hyuga Takuma mastered the Byakugan, and as a competitor, Uchiha's disciple, he did not awaken the Sharingan, which made him anxious. La la la, la la la, I'm in a good mood today. Iruka walked on the road to the office, humming a song and looking very happy. If you dare to blame me, I will target you to death. Office. Iruka, I'm so happy today. Mizuki looked at the excited Iruka and asked with a smile. Next to him, Ebisu was also working on his homework. Hearing this, he also looked at Iruka, this teacher who could make students fearful. Although he did not agree with this method of guiding students' learning, Iruka's method was indeed very effective, and even his work became a little easier. Iruka smiled and said, well, I found that many classmates are getting better and better in their studies. I am happy for them. That's true, thanks to your trick, it works so well. Mizuki said. Ebisu thought for a while, but still persuaded, Iruka, it is better to use this method less often. It is not your real teaching ability. It will make you rely too much on this in teaching students, and you will not be able to teach students. Set a good example. As flying bamboo dragonfly's classmates, they are also ninjas stationed in the village. They meet and compete with each other every day. He has also tried the tricks of flying bamboo and dragonfly, but in terms of teaching, he has his own understanding. After several years of teaching career, I know more about teaching than Iruka, and I know that Iruka's method has disadvantages, which will make students' thinking converge and curb students' creativity in certain aspects. Iruka is not a fool, but has the ambition to cultivate talents in Konoha. He thought about it and nodded in agreement. You really can't abuse ninjutsu, it might stifle my own creativity. Ebisu is very satisfied, the boy can be taught. Of course, you can use it if you encounter some particularly prickly ones. Don't stop eating because of choking. Ebisu said with a smile. He is not a pedantic person. If he has a useful method, he will naturally use it. Only Mizuki on the side looked smiling, but felt very disapproval in his heart. If he knew how to do this, he would definitely ask his students to study hard so that he would have room for promotion. Within a few months, since there was no direct evidence that he had killed his teammates, he still entered the ninja school and became a teacher. But Mizuki also knew that his position was over. With such doubts, there would be no room for advancement, so he would not let it go as long as he had the opportunity. He is jealous of Iruka now, and even pretends to be pretentious when he has a good opportunity. Whatever students want to be creative, they just need to become stronger, no matter what method they use. Woohoo, Sarutobi family. Sarutobi Shinosuke was pacing outside the corridor, and Sarutobi Hiruzen was sitting on a chair next to him, until a baby's sound came out, and Shinosuke's face showed a look of surprise. Sarutobi Hiruzen also smiled when he heard this. Click, the door opened, and a medical ninja in white walked out. Congratulations, Hokage-sama, Shinosuke-sama, the baby is a boy, and it went very smoothly. The medical ninja smiled. Shinosuke couldn't wait to walk in. And Sarutobi Hiruzen was very pleased. Wait outside the door. In the past few years, Konoha has experienced major events such as the Three Wars, Nine Tails, and Hyuga, and its talents are gradually withering away. Now that the grandson has come out, other families are recuperating and are also creating people. More and more newborns are coming out. Konoha is recovering quickly, which makes him feel a lot more relaxed now. Moreover, many excellent teachers emerged from the ninja school, which made him even more satisfied. After a few more years, Konoha will regain its original strength. Dragonfly's wife is about to give birth, right? Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly thought of the flying bamboo dragonfly. According to the current time, it was almost the same as his grandson. In the past few months, I have been busy carrying out tasks within the village, so I have been idle for a long time. He was thinking about whether to send Fei Bamboo Dragonfly out to perform special tasks after his child was born, or whether to stay in the village. At present, the pressure in Konoha is still very high. Even his eldest son is waiting for the birth of his wife, so he allocates some time in the cracks to come back and wait for the birth. In his opinion, flying bamboo dragonfly's strength is extremely good. It can withstand a lot of pressure when performing tasks outside. If you stay in the village, you can only do some tasks that others can do. Although he didn't want to fly like a bamboo dragonfly and lose too many opportunities to spend time with his children, leading to the situation he was in with Asuma, the situation always forced him to make a decision. Let's take a look at the situation for now. As for the tasks of the analysis class, we can let Hai work part-time first. The development of the barriers class is also nearing completion. After his child is born, we can make a judgment based on the situation. Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed. If only Minato, Tsunade, and Jiraiya hadn't died, Konoha wouldn't be so difficult, leaving his subordinates with little time to spend with their children. But when he turned to look into the room, the shouts that came from time to time put a smile on his face. I hope that when the time comes, my grandson can also help his grandfather and become the backbone of Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen had high hopes for every child. Ever since Sarutobi Biwako died while delivering Kyukina, every descendant of Konoha has become the sustenance of his heart. Episode 74, the three little ones were crushed in the final battle, training ground number 98. Buzz. Two huge wind demon shurikens rotated in the air at extremely fast speeds, making sharp sounds. Fuma Jikuin stretches the chakra thread with both hands to control the direction of the shuriken. Hands crossed, the wind demon shuriken simultaneously attacked the flying bamboo dragonfly. Flying bamboo dragonfly looked at this scene and nodded with satisfaction. As expected of a member of the Fongyamo clan, his research and inheritance on chakra is truly unique. Perceive the world. On the side and back, Izuno Momomo's hands and feet are wrapped in chakra, cat claws appear on the limbs, two cat ears appear on the ears, and a long chakra cat tail is swaying behind him. It ran towards the flying bamboo dragonfly at an extremely fast speed. Chubby figure, unexpectedly agile. Four-legged technique, animal-like ninja technique. Bang bang bang. Inuzuka Hana transformed into a wild beast, and the Haimaru triplets beside her also transformed into Inuzuka Hana, and like a beast with wisdom, they rushed towards the flying bamboo dragonfly. This time, they have prepared Hyuga Takuma's ninjutsu, and they will definitely not lose to the bandage man. You're too naive, Kai Kai, watch carefully how to use your secret technique. Flying bamboo dragonfly has a keen sense, and he immediately sensed the chakra in the throats of the three people. He was very pleased that he had already thought of a way to get rid of his genjutsu. But it's no use. After training for nearly half a year, the role of talent is not just talk. The strength of the three of them is only superior among their classmates, but they are not close enough to the qualified genin. Before the main attack of the Fuma Shuriken arrived, flying bamboo dragonfly threw out a scroll from the ninja bag on his waist, opened it in the air in an instant, and pressed the refined chakra with his hands on it. Possessed by the cat god. As the spell is completed, a giant lucky cat formed by chakra covers the flying bamboo dragonfly. This time was their last teaching, and in order not to make the three of them proud, he planned to use their own ninjutsu to attack them. Bang! Clang! With a flick of the cat's paw, two Fuma Shurikens were knocked away by him. With a flick of his tail, he caught Izuno Nomone and flew towards Fuma Shurikuin as he screamed. Fuma Jikuin quickly let go of the Fuma Shuriken and caught his teammates. Clang! Two Fuma Shurikens were stuck in the ground. And Inuzuka Hana, who was divided into 4 parts, hit the cat with a powerful fist, as if it was scratching an itch, without causing any ripples. Hua, this can't be done. And Haiwan, don't think you are triplets. I don't know if dogs come here for training every day. Now you feel the consequences of your usual laziness. Flying bamboo dragonfly looked at the 4 Inuzuka flowers tickling the cat, and did not forget to teach them. Haimaru, they are triplets. Inuzuka Hana has 3 ninja dogs, 2 more than her brother. When training, I often change dogs, thinking that he doesn't know. For this final training, Inuzuka Hana brought them all, hoping to catch him off guard. Whoosh! Inuzuka Hana obviously reacted much faster than the other 2, but she was also a loser. The flying bamboo dragonfly swept its tail, and when they jumped up, the thick fleshy pads of the cat's claws slapped them down. Bang! Immediately, the 3 Haimaru brothers stopped eating and were knocked back to their original form. Hoo ho ho! After the battle, the 3 little ones panted and looked at the flying bamboo dragonfly, especially the lucky cat covering him. Fuma Shurikuin and Inuzuka Hana both looked at Izuno Sachimo. I'm talking about Kai. Is your secret skill so strong? This is their common question. Good guy, what kind of perverted ninjutsu is this? With all-round defense and powerful attack power, there is absolutely no place to start. Izuno Kai looked at the slowly disappearing lucky cat, with a burning light in his eyes. Yes, this is a secret technique in our family legend. Legend has it that during the Warring States period, this secret technique was used to gain a foothold in the Land of Fire. This battle gave him great confidence. It turned out that his family could be so strong, which was really disappointing to his ancestors. There isn't even a Jonin now. It's just that the practice is too difficult, and there are requirements for the amount of chakra. I see, then maybe you can do it Kai in the future. Fumajikuan looked envious. Their family did not have such a powerful ninjutsu. Inuzuka Hana also suddenly realized that the Inuzuka family also had this powerful secret technique, but it basically requires physical development before it can be practiced, and it is also very difficult. This is the last lesson. There is no need to come here to practice in the future. Just train yourself. Your foundation has been laid very well. When you graduate normally, there is no problem in becoming a genin. Flying Bamboo Dragonfly put away the cat god and said to the three of them. The cat god's possession is of some use, but not much. This time it's just for discussion and show off, which is pretty good. Cat Zuanengu is exactly as its name suggests. But his wife is about to give birth, and he won't have time to take care of the little kid for some time to come. When the three of them heard this, Inuzuka Hana looked a little reluctant to give up. In the past 6 months, Feiju Dragonfly has taught them a lot, and they feel that they have grown very quickly. Now he has surpassed most of his peers and is considered a top student in school. However, they also know that if a Jonin has such a long time to train them, it is an opportunity that comes from heaven and cannot be forced. Fuma Shirkuan, Teacher Dragonfly, I will definitely work hard to become the force that protects Konoha. Izuno Kai, me too, I will definitely become a strong person like you in the future. Inuzuka Hana touched the three Haimaru brothers. Just wait, I won't let you down. After such a long time, Flying Bamboo Dragonfly naturally not only provided them with the foundation of genin skills, physical skills, etc., but also the will of fire. This thing is so useful. From the three of Iruka and Tetsumi, to the two of Uchiha Itachi and Anko, and now to the three of Hana Inuzuka, he has never been disappointed. He almost wanted to believe in the will of fire. He had never used anything so useful. Very well, the spark of Konoha will be ignited by you, the future Hokage. It must be yours. Hua should be the 5th generation, Jikuin should be the 6th generation, Kai should be the 7th generation. I have confidence in you, keep going. Flying Bamboo Dragonfly recognized their will and at the same time, did not forget to give them high hopes. Eh? Why am I the 7th generation and Jikuin should be the 6th generation? Or should I be the 6th generation and Jikuin should be the 7th generation? Saitsai's blood boiled when he heard this, but he had objections. Fongimo Jikuin heard his teammate's words and patted him on the shoulder. We are teammates. It's okay for me to be the 6th generation first. Why worry about this? TCH, I'll definitely become a Hokage before you do. No, me first. You saw my clan's secret technique just now. It's very strong. It's funny, my clan's secret technique can make me fly, but you can't hit me. Seeing the two of them having fun, Feiju and Dragonfly laughed. Hokage, what the hell, except for Tsunade, no one has survived for a long time. Only people like him, who control some of Konoha's high-level power and are safe and secure, are the coolest. You still have to learn from Pig, Deer, and Butterfly in this regard. Episode 75, Twins, Konoha Hospital. A young figure was walking in front of the delivery room, and two middle-aged men were sitting next to him. Flying Bamboo Dragonfly had taken off its bandage at this time, revealing its original appearance, with white hair and eyelashes, pale blue eyes with white mist, and a tall and straight figure, which attracted frequent glances from female nurses passing by. Just looking at his feet pacing outside the delivery room and his anxious face, the female nurses were disappointed. The famous woman had her husband. They were really envious of the women inside for finding such a handsome man as their husband. Dragonfly, don't walk around. You've made your originally happy mood irritating. Sho opened his mouth and said. It was nothing at first. He had come here, and he had come here in the same way back then. He was just walking around, which really made people worry about the situation inside. Feiju Dongqing complained, son, your concentration is so low. Did you buy your Jonin position? Hearing this, Flying Bamboo Dragonfly finally stopped and rolled his eyes. Isn't this the first time to give birth to a baby? It would be strange if you don't worry, right? He didn't believe it. When he or Calamus were in their mother's belly, his father and father-in-law didn't feel the same way as him. Dad, Lao Yu, do you think it's a boy or a girl? What name should I give it? I thought about it for a long time and couldn't decide what to name it. Flying bamboo dragonfly felt his head hurt. Reading so many memories on the battlefield didn't hurt at all. It really stumped him in this regard. He felt as if his brain, which usually worked well, was stuck with phlegm. I said, Calamus was pregnant for 10 months, and you didn't even think of a name? Shandai looked at him with disdain, the man. Feiju Dongqing pondered slightly, then believe me, it's called Feiju Shanglong, which means a giant dragon flying in the sky, extremely powerful. Back then, I gave you the name of a flying bamboo dragonfly and let you fly on the big trees of Konoha, so that you had the chance to become Jonin. As soon as he finished speaking, he felt that he was so awesome in choosing a name, and it was worthy of him. No, I think the male one is called Feiju Tonkatsu, and the female one is Feiju Miso. When the time comes, I will let my grandson inherit my legacy. Shota felt that the name of his in-laws was too hasty, and he only knew that Feifei was better, as it was closely related to life. Flying bamboo dragonfly touched his chin. Could it be named like this? Just have a reference and put it after the last name? How about calling the man Captain Feiju, and calling the woman Minister Feiju? Wouldn't it be better to be a high official from birth? Feiju Dragonfly thought for a long time and finally thought she had chosen 2 good names. But what greeted him was 2 pairs of blank eyes. Why don't you call Feiju Hokage? Why don't you call me Feiju Daimyo? The 2 said in unison. I originally thought that the flying bamboo dragonfly could be a Jonin because of its brains, but now it seems that this is not possible either. Feiju Dragonfly heard this and clapped his hands. If they agree, it's not impossible. I'll pour it. Go, don't give me a name. When the Calamus comes out, the 3 of us will think about it, you go away. Feiju Dongqing said. Whispering sound. Flying bamboo dragonfly turned her head and looked towards the delivery room. Suddenly. Wow, a cry rang out. The 3 people who heard this were overjoyed and came out. Sudden. Wow, another different cry sounded, and the flying bamboo dragonfly was overjoyed. It sounds like they are not the same person, that is to say, they are twins or twins. I just don't know if Calamus' body can bear it. After a while, the door to the delivery room opened, and the doctors who delivered the baby came out holding the baby. Congratulations, a boy and a girl. They were born naturally. They are both fat boys. Both mother and baby are healthy. After the doctor finished speaking, Fei Bamboo Dragonfly finally relaxed. Looking at the 2 children in the doctor's hands, a feeling of blood connection flowed into his heart. This is inheritance. At the same time, a sense of responsibility surged into his heart. He felt that he was different. His mentality seemed to have changed, and he had a huge amount of energy. This should be father's love. Hokage office. Dragonfly, I'm really sorry for disturbing your company with your child. But the mission is urgent. Currently, other Jonin have missions to carry out and are short of manpower. Now I can only ask you. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Feizu Kingfei, who looked depressed, and handed him a document. Flying bamboo dragonfly is indeed very depressed. The 2 children are only 1 month old and they are about to go on a mission. It's really sad to beat a worker. But he didn't complain. The Hokage's son was sent on a mission by Sarutobi Hiruzen before he left his son behind. According to his news, Sarutobi Konohamaru has been born, about a month older than his child. Konohamaru's father, Sarutobi Shinosuke, only stayed for half a month before he was sent on a mission. He had to admire him. If he had the power, he would never do this. Picked up the document and read it carefully. Sarutobi Hiruzen, this is the information from Amagakure village. According to the last information from the spies, it seems that there was turmoil within Amagakure village more than 2 years ago. It was not until a few days ago that this information came to Konoha. Your purpose is to lead the team to investigate the information inside Amagakure village. Be careful, I have sent 3 elite espionage teams ahead, all are gone without return. He slowly told Fei Bamboo Dragonfly about this mission. At the same time, he was angry in his heart. Danzo actually intercepted the information of Yuin village for 2 years, which was getting more and more excessive. It was also because of several failed missions that he decided to send the Flying Bamboo Dragonfly. Flying Bamboo Dragonfly, who has experienced 3 battles, has undoubted ability, and is also one of the most determined people with the will of fire. It seems that something big happened inside Yuin village. Fei Bamboo Dragonfly said. Looking at the intelligence in hand, the 3 espionage teams are all elites in espionage. To discover them, the task difficulty is indeed not ordinary. Information about Amagakure village, the birthplace of the Akatsuki organization, flashed through my mind. After traveling through the ninja world for nearly 7 years, I finally got involved. Sarutobi Hiruzen, well, I want you to investigate their purpose and collect as much information about them as possible. If it is too dangerous, I will allow you to lead the team to retreat early. Having lost 3 elite troops, he also realized that it was not simple. Understood. What about my teammates? Your teammate is your former disciple, Thorny Iron Wire. There are also 2 of Umbu's elite. Before Sarutobi Hiruzen could speak, a figure walked in from the door with a cross scar on his chin. Shimura Danzo. Flying Bamboo Dragonfly looked at him, still very energetic, his hands were still intact, and he was not holding a cane. Well, it's not much different from playing 9 tails. Then he looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen with doubts in his eyes. Seemingly seeing his doubts, Sarutobi Hiruzen said, the person in charge of Umbu training is the same as me, a disciple of Master Second Hokage, Shimura Danzo. Lord Danzo. Flying Bamboo Dragonfly nodded and said. What does this old man want to do? Episode 76, S-Class Espionage Mission, Hokage Office. Danzo said, I've heard of you a long time ago, but this is the first time I've seen you. I leave it to you for this mission. We must bring the information back, no matter what the cost, even if it involves sacrifice. There is no doubt that Flying Bamboo Dragonfly is one of the elites in Konoha. His mind-reading ability to read information is even higher than that of Yamanaka Haiichi, and he is Grandmaster Barrier's ninjutsu. Danzo appreciates it very much. If Hiruzen Sarutobi hadn't blocked him, he would have really wanted to come over and be given a higher position. Sacrifice? The Flying Bamboo Dragonfly is speechless. As expected of Danzo, does it mean that dead people don't matter? So cruel. At the same time, it can be seen that Danzo attaches great importance to this mission, actually jumping out of his lair and speaking in person. Do you covet the power of the Samsara Eye? There is no doubt that the civil war must be about Nagato and Hanzo. At this moment, the Akatsuki organization should have completely controlled the Amagakure village. Hiruzen Sarutobi listened to Danzo's words and said sternly, Duanzo, don't always talk about sacrifice. The order I gave is to bring the information back when you can retreat safely. Pedantry, a small sacrifice, for the sake of the overall situation of Konoha. Hiruzen, you are old and confused. Sarutobi Hiruzen's words full of retreat made Danzo very disappointed. Sure enough, he is the best candidate for Hokage. As long as he gets the power of the Samsara Eye, the Hokage is his. I am Hokage, Dragonfly. Please go back and tell your family that we will leave tomorrow. This mission may take a long time. Don't neglect your family. Sarutobi Hiruzen said. Flying Bamboo Dragonfly also saw the famous scene, took the information in his hand, turned around and retreated slowly. When passing Danzo, I could sense his cold and emotionless gaze. Flying Bamboo and Dragonfly home. Chanyu, Maki, Dad has to go on a mission tomorrow, so listen to Mom. Flying Bamboo Dragonfly looked at the twins on the cradle, and looked at the 2 of them with blue eyes. Both children inherited the color of his pupils, and their blue misty eyes looked watery. After the 4 people argued and argued, they finally came up with the names of the 2 children, Feiju Chanyu and Feiju Maki. It's a very common name, it doesn't have any over-the-top connotations, and it's not very tacky either. It's just a smooth title. In fact, no one knows how to name it, including Calamus. Maki and Chanyu seemed to have heard his words, they both showed baby smiles and stared at him with their small eyes vividly, as if to say, I will take good care of my mother, you go ahead. You are indeed my cub, your senses are so sharp. Flying Bamboo Dragonfly looked at the 2 babies and smiled. Unsurprisingly, the 2 little guys inherited his gift of perception and have a keen sense of adults' emotions. When to cry and when to laugh is up to the 2 parents to decide. Changpu watched the interaction between father and son and said with a smile, you haven't had a mission to leave the village for a long time. Will it take a long time this time? She was used to ninjas going on missions. Living in Konoha, this was something she had expected. It was normal for ninjas to go on missions. Calamus didn't have any emotions about life and death, but was worried about the safety of Feiju and Dragonfly. Flying Bamboo Dragonfly looked apologetic, yes, it's been several months. This mission out of the village may be a bit long. I'll leave the 2 little ones to you, my wife. This time it was an espionage mission, and Fishikinging did not dare to say how long he expected to complete it. Still facing a ninja of Nagato's level. He didn't think that with the experience of reading the original work, he would be able to get any information smoothly. That would be stupid. The original work did not describe these details at all. At most, he knew about the reincarnation eye and Nagato's control of the 6 paths. And you can't just talk about White Fang in vain, go shopping, and come back and tell you what information you got. Konoha has an organization to verify intelligence, just to prevent people from fearing death, walking around and lying about military information. What's more, this time it's not just him, but also his disciples, and 2 people who are probably Danzo's men. Don't worry, it's not just your baby, it's also my baby. Can I still take care of it? Changpu said. Wow, as if sensing their emotions, the two babies made a whimpering sound. Well, come to Tanyu and Maki, they will accompany you while I'm gone. Feiju Dragonfly took out two figures, polished them extremely smooth, and placed them next to the two children's bedding. The figure is exactly what he looks like. Both figures contain a large amount of chakra. Such things are also found in Feiju Dongqing and Chongpu. Critical moment, you can release the spells prepared in advance to protect them. Night. Flying bamboo dragonfly's hands are in the seal, and countless sealing techniques are carved on the bandage that binds its head, just to reduce the time of performing the technique when needed. Various ninja tools, antidotes, radios, telescopes, and various useful props. This mission will be his most difficult S-level mission. Faced with an enemy who has mastered the Samsara Eye, if he can learn part of the enemy's intelligence, he will naturally have to prepare a good response. Flying bamboo dragonfly can't say that he has all the information about Nagato, and now he and Genjutsu are quite restrained by Six Paths Pain and the others. But in terms of combat experience, I have never been afraid of anyone, let alone little Nagato. Flying bamboo dragonfly is full of confidence. The main reason is that the order he received was to collect intelligence under safe conditions, and he could escape if he couldn't be beaten. He is not a stubborn old man like Jiraiya who has a strong will of fire. He will not run away even if he can't fight. He has no psychological burden at all when running away. There is an elder and a younger child at home, and only a few 100,000 a month, what a waste of money. Second floor apartment. I have to fight side by side with the teacher again. This time I must let the teacher see my ability. The thorny iron wire checked the ninja tool and tied the forehead protector with a smile on his lips. After 2 years of training, he is no longer the same person he was before, he is now a chunin in his own right. No matter their experience or combat prowess, they are not the same. As the most talented ninja among the trio, Thorny Iron Line is full of confidence. This mission is an S-level espionage mission, and it will also be his first S-level mission. He cannot let Mr. Dragonfly down. I also want to show off in front of the teacher. Your mission is to gather information about the person with the Samsara Eye. Use the power of the flying bamboo dragonfly to attract the attention of the enemy. You are all the elites of the route. I think you know what to do. Danzo looked in front of him. It was 2 people, he warned. Clear. Both of them wore masks, but their tone was indifferent. Bang. The 2 disappeared in front of Danzo. It is said that the Samsara Eye is a power, but it really exists. Sarutobi, time will prove that I am right. Danzo looked at the sky, the corners of his mouth raised. Everyone has their own little thoughts. But as the sun rose, everyone was ready and arrived at the meeting place. Feiju Dragonfly arrived at the meeting place in advance after saying hello to her family. Episode 77, Difficulties, Swish. Just as Feiju Dragonfly was waiting and thinking about his infiltration plan, 3 other people appeared. Teacher, I haven't seen you for a long time. We finally did a task together again. It's still such a high-level mission. Thorny Iron Line saw Fei Bamboo Dragonfly with excitement on his face. Flying Bamboo Dragonfly nodded to him, very satisfied with him. Thorny Iron Line is his most talented disciple, and he has always been satisfied with it. Then he turned his attention to the other 2 teammates. Both of you, although I have your basic information, in order to complete the task better, I need to have a concrete idea of your capabilities. Both of them had strange faces, one was a burly man with an unshaven beard. One has a slender body, like a white-faced boy. But according to Flying Bamboo Dragonfly's perception, the chakra amount of both of them has reached Kakashi's level. It shows that the strength of the 2 people cannot be underestimated. It seems that Danzo attaches great importance to this mission. I have to take it seriously, after all, it is the Samsara Eye, the Eye of Sage of 6 Paths. The burly man, my name is Yan Kuei. I am good at earth style, physical skills, and assassination. White-faced young man, my name is Song Yun. I am good at tracking, assassination, and other assistance. Both of them gave expressionless introductions and briefly talked about their own situations. Nothing can be seen from his expression. Very good, now check the ninja tool on you. If there is no problem, go to the Kingdom of Rain in a cone formation. Flying Bamboo Dragonfly nodded and immediately gave instructions. He also checked again whether the ninja tools on his body were sufficient. After looking at the detonating charms, kunai, etc., and confirming that there was no problem, I felt relieved. The same goes for the other 3. Then, let's go. Whoosh. Leaping on the tree trunk heading to the land of rain, the Flying Bamboo Dragonfly dropped its senses on the 2 of them. No obstruction, no rebuttal, just be honest. What a tough guy. He lamented that Danzo's men were really talented. The quieter he is now, the more trouble he will have later. Maybe the task given by Danzo will be very different from his goal. If this is the case, it will be troublesome. If two jonin are going to cause trouble, it's not going to be easy. Fortunately, he still has disciples. Thorny iron wires guard the flanks, always alert to incoming danger. It seems that he has really grown a lot. He was no longer the boy who forced him to learn the Narakumi no Jutsukai. As time goes by, the humidity in the air gradually increases. There is a layer of wetness on the skin of the flying bamboo dragonfly. Water vapor is rising. The land of rain has a special geographical location. It is shrouded in dark clouds all year round and it rains every 3 days. Compared with other countries, the air humidity is significantly higher. The location is also farther from Konoha than the Kingdom of Iron. At their traveling speed, it will take about 3.5 days. The 4 of them walked and stopped. The 2 Umbu ninjas didn't urge anything and just followed obediently. It felt so boring to let Feiju Dragonfly's perception rest on the 2 of them. On the contrary, the thorns are tied to the iron wire, and from time to time, I take out my ninja tool to fiddle with it. 3 days. As they approached the Kingdom of Rain, they could see a thunderstorm in the sky from a distance. The flying bamboo and dragonfly stopped. He looked at Yen Kuei and said, "I'm sorry." Yen Kuei was speechless, but since Feiju Dragonfly was the captain, he could only start forming seals to release ninjutsu. Earth house style technique. Boom. On the border between the land of fire and the land of rain, a tall earthen house stood up. Yen Kuei looked at the flying bamboo dragonfly impatiently. The flying bamboo dragonfly smiled back. Ever since I found out that this guy was an earth-style ninja, I thought of Yamato who built a house using wood style. I wanted to ask, can he build a house in earth style so that he can have a good rest? Unexpectedly, he really does. Thorny Iron Line sighed very much. Really, it doesn't look like sleeping out and doing tasks at all. It would be great if I could also change the properties of earth attributes. The moment he saw the house, he was envious. If he could do it, the whole team would be comfortable. You should specialize in time and space ninjutsu and wind escape ninjutsu. With your talent, it will take 2 or 3 years to learn how to change the properties of earth attributes. Flying bamboo dragonfly patted his shoulder and advised him not to think too much. Once again, I feel that Danzo's background is really strong. There are all kinds of techniques. But for the other person, he still doesn't know what technique he used. But it doesn't matter, as long as you don't disturb him or let him see your power. Silent rain falls. According to Lord Hokage's information, he once sent 3 elite teams to sneak into the Kingdom of Rain. But all failed, so we can only speculate that it is probably filled with barriers that are sentient ninjas. So we can't sneak in the normal way, or make too much noise. Flying bamboo dragonfly began to review the information. The other 3 nodded. 3 directions: the country of grass, the country of birds, and the country of rivers. It is the team sent by Lord Hokage to sneak into the direction, therefore it can be determined that no matter which direction you infiltrate from, you are likely to be discovered by the enemy. Including our Kingdom of Fire, as well as the borders of the Kingdom of Wind and the Kingdom of Earth. This is easy to analyze. 3 small countries and 3 big countries are all surrounding the Kingdom of Rain in a triangle. All directions have failed, which means that the direction of the 3 big countries cannot be successful. From this point it can be seen that the enemy's perception ability is very strong. The Kingdom of Rain is surrounded by 6 countries and its territory is very small. If it weren't for the 6 countries' important territory and environmental problems, which required a buffer, it would have been gone long ago. Flying bamboo dragonfly does know Nagato's rain tiger free technique, but he still needs to analyze it with his teammates. Otherwise, how would you know the information? You rarely go out. Regarding this waste of chakra, Feiju and Dragonfly despised and envied him. Contempt is too wasteful, envy is that he has this chakra waste. Ninjutsu are everywhere in the land of rain. If he has this amount of chakra, maybe I can stop eating beef. Thorny iron wire, then how are we going to sneak in? This is the key question. The elite espionage team sent by 3rd generation has not completed the task. How are they going to do it? Flying bamboo dragonfly looked at 2 teammates who were good at assassination. Yen Kuei shook his head. No, in addition to Hokage-sama, Danzo-sama also sent teams to take action, but all ended in failure. If you can sneak in, there will be nothing wrong with flying bamboo and dragonflies. Well, heart attack won't work, it will cause a big chain reaction. If other countries become sensitive, the 4th ninja war may come again. Flying bamboo dragonfly regrets. It seems that Danzo's subordinates only have a few truly elite espionage officers. If the walking witch was still at the root, maybe he wouldn't have anything to do with it. Flying bamboo dragonfly has read the memories of many ninjas. I know that there are countless secret techniques in the ninja world, and those in the Book of Seals are only a small part. There are many secret techniques that can avoid perception, tracking, etc. Since a walking Miko can travel around the country, get information that satisfies Danzo, and sneak into the land of rain, she should have no problem. Only now she is supposed to be the director of an orphanage. It may have already failed. Episode 78, Stealth, Konoha, Ninja School. A few days passed, and Irika finally felt something was wrong. In the past few days, he felt that his students were becoming active again. Looking at his eyes, he was no longer afraid but instead talking and laughing. Only when he used the 8 incense of fire Genjutsu, he would show an uncomfortable look. But he turned away from their sight, talking and laughing again, not at all like he had been in pain for a long time after being attacked. At first, he thought that the children had adapted and were much better than him in this regard. But, this situation first started in the 3rd grade, and slowly, 2nd grade, 4th grade, this happened to everyone except the 1st graders. This made him feel that something was wrong, and his excellent ninja qualities told him that he must figure out this situation. Bang! Irika transformed into a blackboard eraser and waited quietly. Waiting for class time to arrive, prepare to use your excellent intelligence ability as a chunin to collect their secrets. He firmly believes this. Jingle bell bell. As the class bell rang, students walked in one after another. Each one is very lively, and some look sleepy. Ah, it's great to have Mr. Irika's class again today. Yeah, when I think about pretending to be uncomfortable in front of Irika-sensei, it was so much fun. Do you want to play today? I want to skip class and go outside to play. Anyway, Irika-sensei's trick is useless. The sound of children talking and laughing sounded in Irika's ears. It also allowed him to collect some information. The tricks the teacher taught him have been cracked, and he was rehearsed for several days. No wonder I've been feeling a little off these past few days. Hey, the blackboard was not wiped yesterday. Liang, in the entire 3rd grade, you are the only one who has not been punished by the teacher. As a good student, you go and erase the blackboard. Suddenly, some students saw the chalk writing on the blackboard that had not been erased from yesterday's class, and on a whim wanted to share the teacher's worries. The young man named Liang did not complain. He was indeed a good student and he did very well in this regard. In the entire ninja school, there are only a few students who have not been punished by teacher Irika, and he is one of them. Stop, no. Irika wanted to speak, but thinking that he could not let the students know that he was eavesdropping, he could only try to maintain his appearance of erasing the blackboard. Liang grabbed the blackboard eraser. He felt that today's blackboard eraser seemed to be much heavier than before. But he didn't think much and started erasing it on the blackboard. Irika burst into tears, feeling the friction between his body and the blackboard. He felt even more uncomfortable in the hands of an outstanding student like Liang who never made mistakes. If I had known, it would be better to change the blackboard eraser to a podium instead of a blackboard eraser. After finishing wiping, like other students, they returned to their seats and waited for the teacher's arrival. When Irika saw the students returning to their seats, the blackboard eraser suddenly stretched out its 4 legs, trying to take this opportunity to escape from the classroom door. Only, he hasn't left yet. Mizuki walked in from the door, holding a book. This made Irika, who was about to take action, immediately stop his action and retract his 4 legs. Hello, classmates. Hello, Mr. Mizuki. Okay, now open the information summary book, page 27, based on trace identification, determine the scene where a battle has occurred. While Mizuki was giving lectures, he displayed questions and answers on the blackboard during the course. From time to time, pick up the blackboard eraser and wipe it on the blackboard. At a certain moment, Mizuki paused, then continued wiping. Teacher's office. Irika, what's wrong with you? Why did you use the transformation technique to turn into a blackboard eraser, haha? Mizuki looked at Irika who was blushing on both sides and laughed to death. Beside, the other teachers, seeing Irika's appearance and hearing Mizuki's words, also covered their mouths and laughed. Brother Mizuki, you already knew I had transformed, right? Irika complained in annoyance. Mizuki spread his hands. Oh, why didn't you say anything? I almost thought you were an enemy. In fact, he thought it was the 3rd generation Sama who was spying on him, but he didn't expect it to be Irika. Oh, I noticed something was wrong with the students, so I went to collect information. Irika said. Then what information have you collected? Well, these guys have cracked my Genjutsu trick and are still hyping it up. Except for the little guy in the 1st grade who just learned how to refine chakra, that trick is useless to other students. Irika sighed. Unexpectedly, I just thought of a way to plug my ears, and the student had already cracked Genjutsu. The teachers present were stunned when they heard Irika's words. Student? Cracked that pesky Genjutsu? As teachers, they are all capable people. After such a long time, they have naturally thought of various ways to crack, defend, dodge, etc. to solve this kind of Genjutsu. But if it can be spread to the entire ninja school and everyone can learn it, their method is not applicable. Who cracked it? Being able to crack it and spread it shows that this student is very talented. They all want to know who the little guy is. Or some little guy asked his parents to crack it. Iruka shook his head. I don't know, I haven't collected them yet. I only know that they should be third graders. This method came from the third grade, which shows that the root is there. Ebisu laughed when he heard this and said, haha, you have learned a lesson, right? Teaching should be done with serious teaching and guidance, rather than using threats and coercion. Iruka nodded. He also deeply felt that that kind of teaching method was indeed wrong. But, there are some people with extraordinary talents among the little guys. It's amazing that they can crack this genjutsu. This statement is recognized by most teachers. The Land of Rain, 3 feet underground. Ziwu Mao Mao In Mao, extra range perception. The deep tunnel goes straight in the direction of Yuin village. Flying bamboo dragonfly perception ninjutsu expands to its maximum range, penetrating 3 feet of land, and concentrates on perception. Countless drizzles fell from the sky. The dark clouds made all areas of the Kingdom of Rain extremely dark. Residents and ninjas wearing raincoats and boots walked on the road. Occasionally, I can sense the presence of ninjas from Hidden Rain Village and move quickly under the rain. The happiness of the residents of Rain Country, which did not participate in the Third Ninja War, is obviously higher than that of most places. Due to the special geographical environment of the Land of Rain, most of them are iron houses, which gives flying bamboo dragonfly a cyberpunk feel. How? Yen Kuei asked. Next to the flying bamboo dragonfly, Yen Kuei acted as a coolie, using earth style from time to clear the way according to his instructions. Thorny iron wire and Song Yun hold special scrolls and maintain special barriers, surrounding the 4 of them. We are almost arriving at Yuin village. Be careful. The iron wires and clouds are also maintained as barriers. It does not rule out that the enemy has obtained our position. Always be ready to fight. Flying bamboo dragonfly said. After the order, his perception did not stop to prevent Six Paths or Nagato or Conan from suddenly popping up from somewhere he didn't know. He is also not sure whether walking underground and maintaining the invisible barriers he developed can avoid the perception of the Akatsuki organization. What's more, there are the ninjas from Hidden Rain Village. Nagato and Conan are not the only ones in the Land of Rain, other ninjas should not be underestimated either. Episode 79, Intelligence Activities, Yuin Village. A hand stretched out from the ground, and a figure wearing the same raincoat as the residents of Yuin Village emerged. Flying bamboo dragonfly looked at the hidden outside world. Didn't step into the rain. He knew that Nagato's technique relied on sensing rain. Use the transformation technique to transform into the appearance of an ordinary resident. Use the art of sneaking in the soil to walk underground, and use perception ninjutsu to find your way. He came to a tavern and found an opportunity to get in. After looking at the situation inside, it was no different from the tavern in Konoha, except that the items placed were different. At this time, the ninjas in 2s and 3s were discussing. This time I killed a huge fish beast in the Wulyo River. That body is as tall as a building, but who am I? 1,000 rain and dews can solve it. The local villagers also gave me many gifts. If I hadn't run so fast, even the beauty of their village wants to marry me. Hey, where are there any large beasts in the Rain Country? They were all solved by Lord Angel and Lord Messenger, so just brag. There are also fish that slipped through the net. Jonin in the village previously managed to solve the local beast problem. Have you forgotten? The environment of the village is so good now, thanks to God and Lord Angel. It's great to be able to play for them. Flying bamboo dragonfly listened to everyone's discussion. With a glass of wine in my stomach, I feel that the moisture in these days has been reduced a lot. Looking at the forehead protectors on their foreheads, these are all ninjas from Hidden Rain Village. The so-called angels and gods they talk about are probably Conan and Pain. Several ninjas did not discuss Lord Angel too much, all I heard was reverence and no other information. It seems that information is not that easy to obtain. 2. If you remembered correctly, Danzo's subordinate Sai in the original work had assassinated the leader of the hardline faction of the Rain Country against Konoha. It shows that there is no way to sneak into Yuin village. But it is more difficult to obtain information about Conan and Nagato. His eyes fell on a paper sunny doll in the tavern, but for a moment, he didn't look at it much. Surveillance in Yuin village. It seems bigger than imagined, no wonder even Jiraiya collapsed. So hard. Underground. Silent barriers. The 3 people, except Fey Bamboo Dragonfly, are waiting. The thorny iron wire stared at the 2 of them to prevent them from causing any trouble. This was what the teacher secretly ordered him to do, and he didn't know why, but the teacher said so, and he chose to believe the teacher. It seems that the captain has successfully infiltrated. Yen Kuei said. Now they have entered the Yuin village area, and 15 days have passed. As the captain, Flying Bamboo Dragonfly has been collecting intelligence outside for a long time, and now the opponent's perception method is very clear, which is the rain falling from the sky. The fact that they were not discovered for such a long time shows that their infiltration method was correct. Yan Kuei and Song Yun looked at each other. Thorny Taisian glanced at them and felt that these two teammates had more than simple intentions. No wonder the teacher wanted to spy on them. I feel in my heart that Mr. Third Hokage is really old and confused. He has sent out all his teammates who have different intentions. Don't you know how dangerous the espionage mission is? Don't act rashly. If you are discovered by the enemy, not only will the mission not be completed, but the captain will also be implicated. Thorny Ironline said. He felt the need to speak ugly words up front. Song Yan's face showed a fake smile. Only completing the mission is our goal. We will not go out to interfere with Captain Dragonfly. We just have to be prepared to provide support at any time, right? While he was talking to attract the attention of Thorny Iron Wire, several small black mice emerged from under his feet and disappeared into the tunnel from which they came. Yan Kuei also made a little noise to distract him. Just understand. Acting rashly will not be good for anyone. Jishi Taisian said. He didn't notice the small movements of the two people. Yan Kuei and Song Yun looked at each other with expressionless faces, as if nothing had happened. Based on Danzo-sama's information and their interactions these days, they all knew that Flying Bamboo Dragonfly was a sensory ninja and they did not dare to make any small moves in front of him. Today, they calculated the Flying Bamboo Dragonfly's departure time and its approximate range of perception, and took action. After all, the Thorny Iron Wires were too naive and underestimated their abilities. As for the Thorny Iron Wire, while inputting chakra towards barriers, maintaining barriers ninjutsu, his left hand is hidden and tapped under the thigh according to different rhythms. He really didn't know what the two people did just now, but he remembered the intelligence knowledge taught by the teacher. When it is confirmed that you have different intentions with your teammates, you must treat them as enemies in some aspects. And enemies, in this case, attract attention. If there is a difference from the previous way of communication, it must be something they have done. In this case, if you have teammates you can trust, you must send the signal covertly. And always be ready to take action. The situation of the two people just now is in line with this point. He will not let it go if he kills someone wrongly. Yuin Village. Flying Bamboo Dragonfly took his hand away from a ninja's head, quickly formed a seal, and clicked it in front of his Intang pineal gland. The tiny runes jumped, poured into the ninja's pineal gland, and spread towards the brain. Whoosh! After everything was done, the Flying Bamboo Dragonfly escaped into the ground and disappeared. After he left, the ninja slowly opened his eyes and looked at the surrounding environment with a confused look on his face. Hey, how did I get here and why did I come here? He was obviously still drinking just now. Could it be that he was drunk and dizzy and ended up here? Shaking his head, he looked in the direction, walked towards home, and disappeared under the rainy night. Temporary restroom underground. The Flying Bamboo Dragonfly uses Earth style to create a resting place. My mind is still thinking about the information collected during this period. As a ninja with Grandmaster's mind-reading skills, and the monitor of the Intelligence Department's analysis class, he is quite good at this. Due to the mind-reading technique and the resistance of the ninja's physical and mental chakra, even he cannot obtain all the information in the enemy's mind through the mind-reading technique. Therefore, before reading the mind, I will first use some torture techniques to interrogate the enemy's intelligence, and then use the mind-reading technique to supplement and prevent intelligence errors. Finally, use sealing techniques to seal all the memories about him. This is what he did these days. Pick some ninjas who may know the information and collect it. So that's it. The function of the Rain Tiger Free technique to distinguish enemy intruders is based on people who have been active in Rain Hidden Village for a long time. It can distinguish the chakra that suddenly appears strangely based on the people who have been active in the Rain Hidden Village for a long time, so it will be sensed by Nagato. Based on the information obtained from the ninjas of Amigakure Village, as well as the research on the ninjutsu principle, and based on the analysis of mathematical probability, human psychology, and other disciplines, Flying Bamboo Dragonfly is 90% sure that Nagato's perception principle is this. As for why it's not 100%, it's because he has elders and younger children in his family, so he still has to be careful and don't waste time. It would be nice if he could pay more attention to the details when watching Shippuden. After all, everyone knows that black Zetsu is black and white Zetsu is white. Who can take a closer look at black Zetsu's pink nails? Regarding Nagato's perception method, Feiju Dragonfly also lacked this detail, otherwise he would have cracked it long ago. Episode 80, Espionage, Boom. At this moment, the special radio in his ear transmitted long and short signals with different rhythms. Duanzo's subordinates are really restless. Flying Bamboo Dragonfly knew the situation of his teammates and shook his head helplessly. Don't let this old boy ruin my mission. This time the mission is completed, at least 10 million taels are worth, which is worth 1/3 of the land and land bounty. His annual guaranteed salary is only 6 million, which is still very valuable. Some ninjutsu research also requires money to support. Of course, the most important thing is that they are afraid of being discovered by Nagato and the others, otherwise they will fall short and defeat the purpose. I just don't know what Yen Kuei and Song Yun did. Next, I need to be careful and pay more attention to the movements. Mao already. The flying bamboo dragonfly slowly merged into the ground and moved quickly towards the direction of the team. Beyond the borders of the Land of Rain, several teams of ninjas wearing black cloaks appeared, looking in the direction of the Land of Rain. A ninja performs ninjutsu in the seal, with other ninjas surrounding him. Information is coming. In the distance, several black mice sprang out of the ground. Chirp. After opening a blank scroll and injecting chakra, the mouse in the distance seemed to find its direction, came to the scroll and walked in. The body slowly turned into words, printed on the blank scroll. It seems that I have finally gained something this time. Send a message back to Konoha and report to Lord Danzo. The leading ninja looked at the information on the scroll, rolled it up, channeled a messenger eagle, and tied the scroll to it. Wow. Phew. The messenger eagle flapped its wings, soared high, and headed in the direction of Konoha. Captain Dragonfly, haven't you been discovered? Yen Kuei asked as soon as the flying bamboo dragonfly emerged from the tunnel wall. Feiju Dragonfly nodded and said, after half a month, we finally made progress. We have found the principle of Yuin Village's perception of ninjutsu. The next step is to crack ninjutsu, and then find a way to sneak into the internal organizations of Yuin Village and collect their internal intelligence. Hearing this, Song Yun was amazed that flying bamboo dragonfly found the enemy's ninjutsu principle so quickly. During this time, they had just determined that the enemy's perception was based on the rain falling from the sky. They were trying to decipher the opponent's principles and then find a way to invade. Unexpectedly, flying bamboo dragonfly has cracked the principle and who is the expert in assassination. But this is better. Their target is the Samsara Eye. The more powerful the flying bamboo dragonfly is, the more beneficial it is to them. Next, let's be quiet for a while and find out how to block it, otherwise we will be discovered sooner or later. It is impossible for people to stay in underground caves all the time, not only due to air issues, food, spirit and other issues, but even the best trained ninjas are no exception. And once they cause too much noise in Yuin Village and arouse the suspicion of Yuin Village, the espionage work will be even more difficult. The other three nodded. Just when they cracked ninjutsu, Konoha. Danzo received the information from the Dragonfly intelligence team and looked at the information above with a smile on his lips. I see, to be able to maintain such a big ninjutsu, it seems that the Rinnegan Eye is indeed the eye of the legendary sage of 6 paths. The information above is exactly the information about Amagakure Village's perception of ninjutsu. Now that he has obtained the opponent's sensing method, Danzo is confident that he can quickly crack it within half a month and send more people to sneak into the rain-hidden village. He didn't even expect that the rain-hidden village could hide ninjutsu here due to the constant rain. Ninjutsu of this scope, or continuous ninjutsu, consumed a huge amount of chakra, so he didn't think about it. Come here, tell me to go down and use this information to crack it and make countermeasures within half a month. Danzo handed the information to his subordinates and ordered. 5 days passed. After completing the research on Feiju Dragonfly, he gave orders to the 3 of them and set up traps on the spot, ready for support at any time. Hey, Captain, aren't you going to teach us? Yen Kuei and the others saw Feiju Dragonfly giving the order, and they also analyzed that he must have figured out a way to crack it. Thorny Iron Wire also looked at Fei Bamboo Dragonfly. Now he has no way to use his own ninjutsu system to come up with a countermeasure based on the principles. As expected of a teacher, the teacher came up with a solution in just a few days. This technique involves secret techniques, which you cannot do. Hide well, receive signals at any time, and prepare for support. After Feiju Dragonfly finished speaking, he blended into the wall and disappeared before their eyes. Looking at the disappearing captain, they had no choice but to do it. It involved secret techniques, and they were not so easy to learn. However, there are specialties in the art industry. As assassination professionals, Yen Kuei and Song Yun also thought of other methods. The two looked at each other and repeated their old tricks again, passing on the information. Yuin Village. A Chunin from the hidden rain village named Hayakawa always feels cold after completing his daily training, as if a pair of invisible eyes are staring at him. The weather is too cold. The sun has not risen for many days. I really envy the environment of the land of fire. Hayakawa muttered. I tightened my raincoat tightly and looked at the dark clouds in the sky and the rain that hadn't stopped for half a month. I was full of envy for the fire country on the other side. There were birds singing and flowers fragrant, and the 4 seasons were constantly reincarnating, including spring, summer, autumn, and winter, and the bright sun that made him envious. Compared to the rain country, which has only dozens of days of sunshine a year, it is no different from paradise. But, envy is envy, now he is very satisfied. Since the appearance of God and Lord Angel, the Kingdom of Rain has enjoyed years of peace, allowing the Kingdom of Rain to live a better life. He walked quickly and returned home in the drizzle. After turning on the heater, he felt the chill on his body was gone. Looking at the heating pipe, Hayakawa's eyes were full of reverence. It was under the control of Lord Angel that the people's livelihood in the Kingdom of Rain improved. In the past, the only way to cope with the monstrous humidity was by adapting to the weather in the Kingdom of Rain. Until, Hanzo was defeated by the god, and spring came to Yuin village. Let common people like them use firewood and heating that only nobles can enjoy. God, it's so great. In front of his field of vision, a figure stood there as if it didn't exist. But Hayakawa turned a blind eye. Even when passing by him, it was as if he didn't see him and was doing his own thing. The figure is none other than a flying bamboo dragonfly. Genjutsu hidden in front of the body. During the operation, anyone who sees it visually and is unprepared will ignore everything about the person in front of him in his brain, including vision, sound, smell, touch. It was simply a magical skill that Jiraiya had always dreamed of, and it was perfect for espionage work. This move is considered his favorite 5 senses genjutsu. Although it has great shortcomings, it is very practical. For a chunin like Hayakawa, it is even more of a magical skill, so he does it blatantly. But he only did this because Hayakawa in front of him was about to die in his hands. He was very careful. Who knows if there are people with special physiques who are naturally immune to his genjutsu?